London, a lot of your friends also end up being business owners.
I really like a night run by Memo Brown called Says Events. It's like a South London spoken word night.
I love the Proud Project in Chiswick for Pilates. They do Pilates, Mat Pilates bar as well.
One thing I really want to do is a London staycation.
I've recently actually had a sweet spot for a restaurant called Sophie's in Soho.
So yeah, good music, cheeky cocktails and dancing. That's the criteria.
Hello and welcome to Coffee and Oysters, the London Business Babe podcast, where we get you together with business tips that actually work and let you know where it's worth tapping an oyster around the city. My name is Frances Sedera Matthews. I am a certified Notion consultant and founder of the Notion Bar, where I get my clients together with personalized productivity systems built in Notion. For my systems loving girlies, never fear, every month we get together in the Big Notion Energy Academy, where we unlock Notion's latest releases, and you can ask me, a certified Notion consultant, your burning questions. Details in the show notes. This is a super exciting episode. It is a year on since we started the podcast. For people who don't know podcast lore of Coffee and Oysters, or if you're new here, basically last September, I think I posted a TikTok where I was like, how cool would it be to just have a podcast that highlights the London experience for female founders in the city, but not just like a business podcast and not just like the names that you see all the time, just have it be really raw and vulnerable, but also focus on like the lifestyle aspect. Because I feel like whenever I hang out with my friends who run their own businesses or creative practices, we just end up talking about like the best coffee shops and restaurants. And I was like, why is no one writing this down? And so I posted this TikTok and it basically went viral. And I was like, well, I guess I have to do it now. But it's a year on, 22 episodes later. Thank you so much to everyone who's been following the podcast, who's been on the podcast, who shared the podcast, who's applied for the podcast. Really couldn't have done it without you. We've crossed 1,000 followers on all platforms, which is really cool. And I can only see this growing even bigger. And there's like a year's wait list for guests. So, and if you do want to become a guest, you can sign up in the show notes. It's super easy. I will get to you eventually. But yeah, it's just crazy to think that you've managed to get this far already. Because I'm not famous by any means. Like, people talk about a lot of other big podcasts out there in like a similar space, but actually there's no one in our lane, because no one is talking specifically about the London female founder experience, but other just general business podcasts. But they're famous already, so of course they're going to grow quickly. Like, in the grand scheme of things, I'm a nobody. So I'm really proud of where this is going. And you know what? I did it all with ugly branding. So let this be your sign to start the thing with the crappy logo. Okay, it's fine. I hate our logo right now, but that will be resolved eventually. I am actively working on it. But I'm just really excited to see this grow. And I think the next steps for me are essentially trying to do more in real life things. So the name is Coffee and Oysters. Oyster actually plays on Oyster cards for anyone who's clocked onto that. So, but oysters also represents like nighttime and evening and fancy dinners. And they're two opposites, right? So I see one wing of this being like coffee, like cute coffee dates, really accessible, and then eventually every now and again we can do the oysters side of things, so like the fancy dinners and supper clubs. I know you all love a supper club, but I think to keep things really easy and chill, I'm gonna start with the coffee side of things and make it accessible to people who are on the mailing list specifically, and yeah, just see where it goes from there. So if you're not signed up to the Substack, the mailing list, please go do that immediately. Again, details in the show notes, as is everything. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of see where this takes us. Another thing is that I have been literally logging all of the recommendations that guests make in Notion in the Coffee and Oysters guide, again in the show notes. And it's been really interesting to see common brands that people mention. I might do like a state of female founders report or something which highlights the brands that people are loving, and like especially the tech tools that people are loving. Maybe try and get some kind of deal with them to make it even more affordable for you guys. But yeah, watch this space. So really excited to look back on today's episode because we're going to be going through our first 6 guests and basically highlight their mini guide to London. And it's really cool to like look back on everyone and just be like, wow, talked to them almost a year ago, and also see some of the amazing things that they've done throughout the year. And so without further ado, we're going to actually hop into my first episode's guide to London. And yeah, I have heard this back and my ideas on things have changed, but you know what? It's still a good guide nonetheless. And so yeah, but without further ado, let's hop into it.
When it comes to navigating London for me, I'm technically a London newbie. I've lived here full time for a year, but I've been up and down for about 5 now. So I live in Southeast London. So most of my recommendations will be like south, east, or central, essentially. But in terms of things on my London bucket list, I really want to see The Lion King. I should have that planned for Christmas. I'm very excited. Will probably be the only time that I enter central London around the Christmas period, because if you know, it is an absolute hellscape. In terms of food spots, I know a Leon chicken nugget. It's to see me coming. They are the best chicken nuggets on the market, and if you are coming home late at night at London Bridge, Leon is pretty much the only thing open, and they are not necessarily bad for you, and they are delicious. So in terms of like big chains, Leon, you will always be famous. But in terms of like more indie spots for food, I love Nandine in Camberwell for more like Middle Eastern food. It's so good. And as well as Casa de Frango, which is a Portuguese micro chain, I will call it. Yes, a micro chain. Like there are only a few of them, and they're only in London. For pizza, there is a little hole in the wall. I think it's literally called Napoli Pizza, like near Old Street. And that is the best pizza in London. It is so good. Like the guy who owns it is so nice as well. A few pounds a slice, but it's proper pizza. And I always find myself buying a slice when I walk past it. Do I go out in London? Not really. I mostly go to networking. Wow, I sound sad. I mostly go to networking events, to be honest, and gigs, whether that's like DJ gigs or like live music artists. I think the last gig I went to was Tanner Adele, and the next gig I have coming up is a Raven Lene in November. And if you like soulful house or bossa nova, actually I'm going to a gig at Jumbany in Peckham by my partner. That is my kind of going out per se, but I don't really go out that often, to be honest. I just prefer like co-working days. Like that is my social life. Co-working days, networking events. But to be honest, I think there's something to be said about being an entrepreneur in London. A lot of your friends do also end up being business owners. You're all busy, and the way that you can hang out is by meeting up for a co-working day. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm actually a member of a co-working space in Hoxton/Shoreditch called Shoreditch Exchange. I just really value being able to go back to the same place and like know the people there and like have free coffee. And if we're having a bit more of like a casual meet, I think I have like 1 day a month, the Curve Club in Old Street, which is a bit more like casual, as like bringing in guests to my co-working space can get complicated sometimes, but I can have up to 3 guests at Curve Club. I feel like if you're really serious about the member club thing in London, if you even want to go down that route, you've just got to create a pod, and each of you have got to get a membership at different places and then just all be guests of each other essentially. And then my favorite place for just like casual meetups is hands down the Grind in London Bridge. It's such a central point for everyone to get to. You can like chill there with your laptop all day. No one's really gonna bother you like that, as long as you just like order a coffee every now and again. And if you're hungry later in the evening, they do have food options as well. Events that I make sure I go to. Annually, I really make an effort to go to Black Tech Fest. 100% an event that you should go to if you are a Black tech professional, either a service provider or someone looking to get hired, as well as Direct to Culture, which is actually an amazing event targeted at mainly Black-owned D2C brands. The insights from the talks, they were incredibly tangible and like research backed, essentially. So I left with like new knowledge, if that makes any sense. But they do it every year, and so I 100% would recommend going to that. And then in terms of events I recommend outside of kind of the Black networking space in London, I would really recommend e-commerce live, actually. If you are a direct to consumer like e-commerce brand or someone who works with those companies, as it's a very niche space that not a lot of people know about, and unless you're specifically in the e-commerce industry, but you are rubbing shoulders with some very high influence, like I'm talking multi-million pound turnover brands. So if you are a small fish service provider, like you need to get yourself in front of these people essentially, and that is the space to do it.
Hey London Business Babe. This community is built for us and by us to ungatekeep your next move and life in the city. If you never want to miss out, subscribe to the Substack where episodes will land straight in your inbox. Plus, every other Monday, you'll get a chance to feature on the show by shouting yourself out in the Manifest Monday email. You never know who's listening. Details in the show notes.
I mean, fast forward to today. That was me a year ago. Before we move on, I have some notes. So first things first, Casa de Frango and I, we had to take a break. I was going there too much. It's delicious. Maybe we'll revisit her at some point in 2026, but I've had that Portuguese rice one too many times, and I've actually been to Lisbon this year, and yeah, so I've maxed out on Portuguese food, basically. Additionally, my horizons have expanded. So, number 1, Grind at London Bridge is by no means my favourite place to co-work anymore. My 2 favourite places to co-work in the city are actually Another Brother in Canary Wharf and the Bridge Social in London Bridge. So ignore everything I said back there. Grind is still cute for like a low-key catch up with friends every now and again, but it is really loud in there, and so these other places are just a bit more chill and quiet, and the food is better and cheaper. Yeah. Only thing about the Bridge Social though is that they close at 2 on a Friday, so that's something to be aware of. Additionally, I'm actually no longer part of a co-working space. The way my life is set up, it just doesn't really make sense for me anymore. I think I prefer being more of a nomad and like hopping around to events and have that be the way that I connect with people rather than like working out of a fixed space. Like if I look at return on investment for my business specifically, I need to go out and meet different people constantly instead of being locked into a specific place. So yeah, I'm spending more money on events rather than spaces. And that seems to be working for me for now, at least. But yeah, it's just interesting to look back on that. And I do still see those friends anyway, so it hasn't really like changed my life that much. Additionally, Black Tech Fest, we love you, but we don't love that you're at Drumsheds. I think this was before last year's Black Tech Fest, and that was at Drumsheds. And let's just say, if something is being held at Drumsheds, I'm never going back. Still a fantastic mission, and love everything that they're doing for the Black Tech community in England and Europe. But I can't go back to Drumsheds. Like, you can't pay me. Oh, maybe you can pay me. But to pay my own money to go to Drumsheds, that's a different thing. Yeah, and then finally, I have evolved outside of co-working dates to spend time with my business friends, and this has been such a wonderful add, I should say, to my life. So we'll go see plays or live music or whatever. Like, I just think it's nice to hang out with people with similar values and worldviews to you, but it just not everyday work. Like, something that's really changed in my life is that I value play a lot more over the past year, and yeah, just really excited about that change, really. So yeah, things have evolved for me, and they will keep on evolving. But yeah, just interesting to look back. And so now moving on to this next guest. The next guest is Abadesi Osunshade, who is the founder and CEO of Hustle Crew, a diversity in tech community providing inclusion education to employers. She's also the author of Dream Big, Hustle Hard, the Millennial Woman's Guide to Success in Tech, and co-host of the Techish podcast. Abadesi has been awarded with accolades, including Computer Weekly's Most Influential Women in Tech, Financial Times list of top 100 influential leaders in tech, and Tech Nation's 50 most prominent and influential voices in tech. Her work has been featured in TechCrunch, BBC, Forbes, Bloomberg's, and The Times. So that is a recap of what she does. But I think the main takeaway that I took from her episode was how she was able to turn her frustrations as a Black and Asian woman inside the tech workforce, and she was able to transform that into Hustle Crew, which is now an incredibly successful business. Her story is always super inspiring, and I was really, really grateful to have her on as the first ever guest for Coffee and Oysters. You can listen back to her episodes. I'll link it in the show notes. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into Abadesi's Guide to London. Thank you for sharing your little just life stack with us.
Thank you.
When it comes to London, do you have anything on your London bucket list right now?
Oh, the Lush Spa, which is really, really nice. And so it's like a poetry pharmacy. So you suggest your ailments. So it's like, oh, I'm stressed, I'm heartbroken, or whatever you might be. And then they prescribe poetry to you. So I just think that would be really, really nice. I also have been enjoying stand-up and improv recently. Lots of stand-up, improv, and spoken word nights. So there's a few spoken word nights that I have yet to try. I keep hearing great things about that I'm going to hit up. Those are the things that are sort of top of the list for me.
Where are your favorite stand-up or spoken word nights so far?
I really like a night run by Memo Brown called Says Events. It's like a South London spoken word night, and the community is just really welcoming and nice. And she always has headliners at the event. So there's also like people who won those awards who are just amazing. And my favorite comedy night, well, I really love the Bill Murray and Angel. I was just there on Friday. It's very affordable and the stand-ups are really good. And you can also see famous people there. Like I've seen Rose Matafeo there. So yeah, those are my top recs.
Amazing. And then in terms of going out to eat, do you could be fast casual, be like a sit-down restaurant? Do you have anywhere where the food just repeatedly changes your life and is your 100% go-to?
So one place that is new is the Flygerians in Peckham. So it's run by two sisters. You're nodding, yes.
It's so good.
So good. Like the jollof rice, so smoky, so rich. I also went for the veg effort, which was like so spicy but so good. Plantains were cooked to perfection. I am really picky with my fried plantains. I just feel like I grew up eating really good fried plantain at home. So when I have them elsewhere, I'm like, oh, they're too soft, they're too greasy. I'm very judgy. But these were really, really good. So yeah, definitely hit up the Flygerians if you're in Peckham. I'm guessing you've been.
I've not been to the Peckham branch, but I've been to the one in Herne Hill. We're at the Queen of the South pub. The jollof is crazy. I had it with the fried fish.
Yeah, they're so good. And then another place that I go that for me is just always really, really consistent is like Din Tai Fung. It's a Taiwanese restaurant. There's one by Tottenham Court Road near that arcade food market. And there's another one in Covent Garden. But I love dumplings. Like, I am a meat eater. I should specify that. So, pork and prawn xiaolong bao. It's just so good. And I love that you can watch the people, like the chefs, making the dumplings as you walk in. It's just very yummy. I had it for the first time when I was in Beijing years ago. And then they came to London. It tastes as good here as it did. It's just not expensive. And if you can get a table, you'll be served really quickly. But yeah, big fan of Din Tai Fung. And if you haven't been, go. And if you eat meat, definitely get the xiaolong bao. So good.
Okay. Then when it comes to, are you a coffee shop person? Or you more
I'm
like
a matcha drinker.
Okay.
Yeah, and everyone's going to be like, Blank Street. Blank Street's okay. I'm not going to like throw shade at everyone's favorite coffee shop at the moment. But I tend to find it's like independent places that do the best matchas a lot of the time. And like the more high street matchas like Starbucks or, Pret or whatever, they're just not that good. And I'm also like not into like flavored matcha, like banana bread matcha. I just like it straight up. But yeah, I quit coffee really long time ago after being a prolific coffee drinker to save up money for Coachella. And then I managed to stick with not drinking coffee, but I just replaced it with matcha, I think. I'm quite natural, high energy. I don't really need that many stimulants. Like life is my stimulant. I'm like, let's go. Woo.
That needs to be in a t-shirt.
But it is. Once I'm awake, I'm like, cool, let's go. Let's make it happen.
Incredible. And I know like London is very much the center of like members clubs and like physical co-working spaces. Are you part of any yourself?
I'm a member of Albright, which is great because it's like all women focused and it's like a clubhouse vibe, which is like really, really nice. I probably spend the most time at the Ned, which I know is so bougie because it's like a 5-star hotel with a members club. But what I really like about it is a lot of the members are a lot older. So people who I've met there have started multiple businesses or even retired. And it's just really interesting speaking to people about that stage of life and hearing them say, oh, if I were your age, I'd be doing this or doing that. Like random advice around investing and pensions and stuff. But I also really love the facilities. It tends to be the case that if I work from them, I don't work too late because I want to go to the spa, I want to go enjoy the sauna or go to the gym or book a class. So yeah, those are places I really enjoy.
So we are back from Abadesi's Guide to London. What did you think of that? Let us know in the comments. I, for one, still need to check out that poetry pharmacy. I've seen lots of like cool videos about it, and yeah, that's what's on my bucket list. But for this next guest, we've got Shayna Marie. Shayna Marie is a radio presenter and DJ from London. She hosts the Capital Extra Breakfast Show, which broadcasts nationwide from Monday to Friday, 6:30 to 10 a.m. And she is also the founder of the fitness community Rider Studio. I've actually been to a couple of Rider Studio events this year, and they are so much fun. It was a soca spin class. And if you've ever listened to soca, you will know how good it is for a workout. And yeah, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. I think for me, what I really loved about Shayna's episode was how much like putting herself out there has got her into the things that she's doing now, from just like sending an email to volunteer at the local community pirate radio to now being like on one of the biggest platforms in the country.
And then not only that, and like putting herself out there on TikTok, and now she has a whole fitness community. Like you really just have to like put yourself out there and hope for the best. And I think I can relate to that a lot within my journey as well. But again, you can listen to her episode in the show notes. But for now, let's jump into Shayna Marie's guide to London.
Let's move on to London. Like,
Okay.
your spots in the city. Is there anything on your London bucket list right now? Like, you may have seen
Ooh.
it, TikTok,
As
Instagram.
always, I have things saved on TikTok. Do you have collections on TikTok as well, like folders?
Well, I started that, but I actually got this app called Corner instead. So all of my TikTok place saves go there. It's like a Google map, but with social media attached to it.
What?
It's great.
I'll download that right now. I'm easily influenced. I'll get it right now.
Great. Whenever I go to a new city, I just open up the Corner app. I'm like, where else have people saved?
That's so good. Is it like, so other people use it and then they'd be like, rate it or review it or?
Yeah. And they'd be like, the food was this, the vibes were this, they'll take photos. It's good.
That's so good. Okay, this coffee shop in London. So the caption is, I've said this for a reason, because it's black owned and it's got the best matcha latte I've ever tried.
I know the one. Is it the one in, wait, carry on speaking.
I'm trying to find, and they do like ginger shots, they do like juices, they do like health stuff. Beans and Beets, I believe it's called.
Beans and Beets.
Brixton.
Oh, Brixton. Okay, there's a different coffee shop TikTok that I saw that's in Catford.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll let you guys know next week.
Yeah. Let me know if you find it, because I love me a coffee shop. So I really want to try there. But Brixton's a bit far from me, but
yeah. Where are you?
I live in West.
Okay.
Like deep West. So it's like, if I'm in Brixton, then I'll go.
Okay. Well, do you have any like personal favorite coffee shops that you actually go to?
Yeah, there's one in Chiswick called Marley's. It's like on the high road. And there's one in Hanwell as well, which is another area in West London. And that one is like, that one is so lovely. I'm going to find the name find the name of it for you, because it's like, is it Momentum? Momentum in Hanwell and Mally's in Chiswick. They're my like go-tos, and Mally's do like really good food as well. So you can go there for like lunch and get like an actual food, and then really good coffee as well, and juices and X, Y, and Z. Good like banana bread, really good bakery bits. They got really comfortable sofas. Those are my go-tos. West London girl through and through.
Cool. And then for fitness, right? You are out here in all of the studios. Do you have favorite studios?
Oh yeah. So I love the Proud Project in Chiswick for Pilates. They do Pilates, mat Pilates bar as well, but I go there mostly for reformer and mat Pilates, and they are like amazing. Everyone that works there, I think because they opened quite recently, and I think because I've been there from quite early on, I've seen them like grow, and they're all really lovely who work there. And I had my first event there, so they kind of like hold a special place with me. I also love Body by Kira, which is a female gym in Muswell Hill. Kira, she's a really good PT, and she became quite big in lockdown because she was doing like live classes. So I kind of joined them and then joined her app, and then like what she's built is incredible because she's got a really good, strong community of just girls who like want to get it. Everyone who works there is just lovely. I've had like PT sessions there as well. I brought friends there. I've had an event there. So I'm like, you girls, like, if it was closer, I would be there all the time. But yeah, Body by Kieran Muswell Hill. I also quite like, what else am I a fan of? Those are my two main ones. But then I used to work at Boom Cycle, so I still have a soft spot for Boom Cycle. That's where I used to teach spin. That's a spin studio. Co-box is where I first found boxing, so I really like there. They're like the bigger chains of like fitness spaces, and I do really want to find some like smaller independent ones, and I hope to find some in doing Ryder. I haven't been to this place yet, but there's a place called The Body People and Hackney, black owned as well, and they do. I've seen on TikTok they do pole, they do step, they do spin, they do just like it's fine.
If you end up finding any in Southeast, please let me know.
Southeast? Okay.
Because I feel like I'm in a fitness drought
Really?
down here. So
No.
yeah, everything's always in like deep east or deep north. Or like, do you know how long it takes to get from Lewisham to Brixton? Like an hour and a half.
It's far. Damn. I do know one of my friends goes to Pilates. I'm sure she lives in Southeast. When she next posts, I'll send it to you because her studio looks really nice as well, like quite a boutique studio, and it looks really good. So I will send that to you when I see her post it next.
Thank you. And then a final question. Are you, because I feel like London is sort of the member club central. Like, are you a member of any of the I'm always curious.
Yes, I am. Only Soho House. I've been a member for years now. But I became a member because my friend was on the committee, so she kind of was able to fast track me. So I was like, yeah, sure. And I was under 30, so you get a bit of a discount when you're under 30. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let me do it. Why not? But I don't utilize my membership at all. I'm not a frequent Soho House goer. I feel like I've probably been there a handful of times in the 3 years that I've been a member. I pay all the money, and I'm just like, it's not really my style. I go to the gym because I refuse to pay for another gym membership when I have that one. So I've been going to the gym there quite recently. Which is all right. But I don't, I'm a member, but I wouldn't say I'm a member because, it's not really my vibe.
And that's all right.
Yeah.
But like, assuming that's the White City gym, right, that everyone goes to.
The White City one.
Like, loads of people go to that gym as well.
It's-
So you're networking, you still meet
No,
people.
that's not what I want in the gym. It's not what I want. Oh my God. I remember I started going there recently and I was like, I'm seeing everybody and their and like also like
that everyone going there might be a bad thing actually.
Right, it kind of is because you're like hi or hey. Sometimes there's like really famous people there and you're like, oh my God, that's so and so, but you can't be starstruck because you're also into her house. You can't be like, oh my God, and they're lifting weights and you're like, this person is famous. So you have to be really cool and I'm not cool, so it's just not. I don't belong.
Hope you're enjoying the show. Would love to hear what you're thinking. Drop a comment and share your thoughts. Even better, if you're loving the show, take 2 seconds to rate us 5 stars wherever you get your podcast. It really helps other people find us. And if you want to be a guest, details in the show notes on how to sign up. Now, let's jump back in.
I love it when people come like prepped with like a list of places like they've been waiting for this moment their whole lives. Like honestly, one of my favorite things. That was filled with so many gems, especially if you are a West London babe. Sadly, I am not, so I have not made it out there yet. But I think that's one of my favorite things about this show is that London is so big and you forget that people don't live where you live, and then there's so much to explore as well. Yeah, so you can always, if you're looking for somewhere to go, check out the Coffee and Oysters guide that's linked in the show notes. That's filled with everything from cafes to restaurants and even like good networking groups to go to. Really useful if you're in a very specific niche. But anyways, without further ado, it's time to move on to the next guest, Arta. Arta Imaj runs a boutique consultancy called 360 Finance, who works with startups to help build and scale their finance teams as they grow. Outside that work, she's also an avid reader, travel enthusiast, occasional painter, and mediocre figure skater. This episode actually radicalized me. So Arta's business actually scaled quite quickly, and one of the things that changed the game for her was networking. So this inspired a whole New Year's resolution for me to go to a networking event every week. Like it didn't have to be a strictly business thing. Like I was also go to like fun activities or like crafty things or sporty things, anywhere where I can meet new people who would be interested in getting Notion help and getting more organized, or be interested in listening to the podcast. And this has actually changed my life. I have discovered so much more of London because of this. And without a doubt, this has 100% been the biggest growth engine for the podcast.
So not only getting people to listen to the podcast, but also finding guests for the podcast that always have a very decent backlog. And so shout out to Arta for inspiring me and hopefully other people to network more and just get out of your house. You can find her episodes in the show notes, but without further ado, let's jump into Arta's Guide to London.
Now moving on to your London bits. This is called Coffee and Oysters, and we want to know where it's worth tapping your Oyster card around the city. First of all, where are you located in London? Just so that people know.
Yeah, I'm in North London, Arnos Grove, if anyone knows where that is, Piccadilly line.
Oh, yeah. Many moons ago, I looked for a flat around there, actually.
Really?
But yeah, okay.
No.
I did.
Yeah, North London. Then my office is in Soho, so I'm there most days anyway.
It's a nice little bop down the Piccadilly line.
Yeah.
Is there anything on your London bucket list right now? Like you might have seen it on TikTok, Instagram, etc.
Oh, there's so many restaurants. I have a TikTok folder with likes of all these things that I see. So I have a very long list of restaurants to go to. One thing I really want to do is a London staycation. Just because when you're from somewhere, you don't get to experience it as a tourist. And it hit me yesterday. I was walking on Regent Street and I was getting frustrated because people were walking slowly. And then I remembered they're tourists and they're here on holiday. It's Christmas and they're having the best time ever. I don't see London from that angle. So I'd really like to experience it like that for once.
Fair enough. Are there any like particular hotels that are on your radar for this staycation?
The Covent Garden Hotel. I walk past it sometimes and that looks amazing. London has so many amazing hotels. So yeah, any of them, to be honest.
I think if I could have a staycation in London, I'd really want to stay at Mama Shelter in Hackney. I've been there a few times before for cute co-working days, and it's just so beautifully designed. I looked at the rooms as well, and I was like, oh, I just want to stay here for a week.
Yeah, that place is nice. The bar downstairs is nice as well. I had my birthday. Is there one in Hackney or another one in Shoreditch? Oh, it might be the same one.
East London is a blur to me. It
Yeah.
might be.
I had a birthday party there last year. They had a cute little garden courtyard place. It's great if you're hosting a party with a bunch of friends. I really like it there.
And so, where are your go-to spots for food in London?
There's so many good ones. But one place I go to over and over again is Yasmin in Soho. If you like Middle Eastern food, it's like small plates that everybody shares, and it's just amazing. It's so good. So yeah, Yasmin in Soho, definitely recommend. Any place that has nice interior will get my business.
Fair enough. And then when it comes to downtime, is there anywhere you like to go out, like catching up with your friends or activities that you like doing or bars, etc.?
Yeah, definitely. I think my go-to place for going out is Soho, just because you can just rock up without a real plan and just find somewhere really cool without fail. So not so much specific bars, but we just kind of meet up in Soho and then figure it out from there. I feel like other parts of London, you can't really do that. You have to have a bit more of a plan. So that's what I do when it comes to going out. And then, because life is so busy sometimes, I have to schedule days where I'm doing nothing. I try to do those and go for walks in a park or just do something wholesome and catch up with friends, get a coffee in the park. We meet in Hampstead and walk around the Heath.
I've heard lots of good things about Hampstead Heath, actually. I need to.
Yeah, it's so nice. Yeah. I've never actually swam in the ponds, which I feel like people say if you're a Londoner, you can't be a Londoner without having swam in those ponds. But for me, that's just, I don't really want to do that.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Like, it's still London. It's still coming from the Thames, you know? Like, probably. Then, in terms of, like, I feel like London is the member club central. Are you a part of any, or even, like, co-working spaces? I know you have an office, but just wondering if you are, like, signed up to anywhere.
Yeah, I love Curve Club. I'm also a part of a community called Opus. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's a great community with founders, and they have an office space in Holborn, I think it is, that as well. And then I'm part of loads of communities which don't necessarily have like a workspace, but they do meetups. Once you start looking, you open a world that you didn't know existed.
Kind of like restrict myself. So I can only be a part of so many communities like intentionally. So I have one
Yeah.
physical space that I intentionally spend a lot of time at in Hoxton, my co-working space. And then I have one like digital community, which I'm like fully invested in and spend a lot of time on Babes and Waves. And then everything else is like periphery. I might join it, might not.
Yeah.
Or even with things like Curve Club, like I pay for like the lowest because I can only intentionally focus on so many communities at a time.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting to just sign up to everything, but then you spread yourself so thin and then you burn out. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. It's so true. That's a really good way to go about it. Just be intentional about it. Sign up to places you know that you can commit to and give time to and add value to. That's definitely better.
Okay. And then, I mean, you are the queen of networking, apparently. Are there any networking events that you go back to?
There are quite a few. So there's a community in London called Table for 10. It's an angel investor community that hosts dinners every now and then. So I've gone back to that one a few times. It's really good. They host it at a lovely restaurant. It's small, it's like 10 people, so you really get to know everybody there. I find myself going back to that one quite a lot.
Oh, hey again. Did you know there are roughly 100,000 London business babes out there? And we're on a mission to reach as many as possible. Enjoying what you hear? To support the hours of work that goes into making this special, you can either A, consider supporting directly as a paid monthly Substack subscriber to also unlock future exclusive content for less than a coffee and a croissant. B, any brands listening, we'd love to explore ways for you to be part of the journey. C, at the very least, on your next co-working date, tell a fellow London business babe about us. Details in the show notes. Now let's jump back in.
Another great round of recommendations. I do feel like doing a staycation now that I've heard that video again. What I love about the recommendations on this show as well is that they are so niche, like that Table for 10 angel investing group. Like I would never have known about that if I hadn't asked, basically. And speaking of angel investing, without a doubt, if I had angel investment money, as far as product-based businesses go, I would 1000% angel invest in this next guest. And this next guest is Phoebe Ellis. Phoebe is the co-founder of beauty and lifestyle brand Curated, having just launched at the time. They are well into business now. Her and her sister have created a self-tanning mousse for people of color and are on a mission to break the boundaries of beauty and lifestyle for people of color. And what I really loved about Phoebe's story is that it's a game of persistence, right? So the product was in formulation for like over 2 years. They went through a bunch of like manufacturing errors and lessons, but it's a very long game, right? Like she hasn't given up and she's doing better than ever before. And I personally can't wait to see how Caribe blows. Again, you can listen back to the episode in the show notes, but without further ado, let's listen to Phoebe's London Recs.
Now we're going to move on to London recommendations. This will be a little bit more quick fire. Is there anything on your London bucket list right now?
I want to go to a Cocoa in Central. Would love to do that. I've heard so many amazing things about it. I know it's really expensive, but I know they've got a lunch menu that's cheaper.
Yes, it's the £25 set.
Yeah, sign me right up for that. Like I'll be straight there. Especially my finances at the moment at Christmas. It's hellish in my bank account. So that would be a Coco's definitely up there, and it has been for a while. I just haven't got round to going. And then I'd probably say there's another one, Bambi in Hackney.
Okay.
Had it in Hackney. And then Bataga in Chelsea. So I think it's the baby of Zafir or something related to Zafir in Notting Hill, which is this Greek restaurant, which again, I've also heard great things about. But Bataga, new one on the scene, want to test it. So those are, I'm such a foodie though. Like I've always got restaurants that I want to go to, like always trying to go to new places. I hate going to the same place If I'm going out to eat, I definitely try to find somewhere new because I don't want to waste my experience on somewhere I've been before unless I love it.
Okay. Is there anywhere that you love and you do go back to?
Yeah, Wonky in Chinatown. It
Right.
is. I love Chinese food, and it is like the most no fuss Chinese ever. Like I go there, it's cash only. You just go out, order whatever, eat it, go. They're like really like eat and go, but I love
Love
it.
that.
The food's really good, and I'm like I know where it is. I know I'm gonna have good food. I know my food's gonna come quickly, like good service, etc. So I'm happy with that. And I've recently actually had a sweet spot for a restaurant called Sophie's in Soho.
I have
Um,
heard of that.
yeah, it's Piccadilly Circus is opposite the McDonald's.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
I went there, I'd say like a few months ago, and they've got steak. It's really like New Yorky in there. That's why I quite like the vibe. And on the weekends, I think they've got a DJ, but just steak, chips, mac and cheese, just really
Oh, wait, I
sweet.
think I've used the toilet in there once.
Really far down the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nightmare
That's
to
like,
get to that toilet. But they love strawberry daiquiris, and they have strawberry daiquiri from a frozen thingy machine where they just like it's on tap, so they just pour it out. They don't have to make it. And I don't like a non-blended strawberry daiquiri. I like a blended one. So they have that, and they do a good mango margarita. So those two places are really my top. And I love Luca as well.
okay.
Italian, that's amazing, but their prices have really gone up like
Interesting.
outrageously. So haven't been back there in a while, but it's still really good there.
Interesting. Okay.
You got an
then
insight into me there.
Real
Yeah.
food.
I can keep going.
Maybe that's your Substack, like a little food.
Yeah, like finding restaurants in London. And I
Mm.
was like, this is my dream job. It wasn't. But it was cool just to be like in and around something that I find really interesting. I think if I could have any dream job in the world, it would be a food critic where I can just go eat in restaurants
Amazing.
for fun. Yeah.
Amazing. And then when it comes to London, I feel like it is sort of the place of members clubs, etc. Are you part of any communities online or offline that you would personally recommend?
So I am part of more online communities than offline. So I'm part of the Stack World. That was obviously we met at that event. I don't know if you'd gone through Kira or the Stack World, but we both met at that event.
I went through Kira, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But that was like me getting into events more, and the Stack World has been a really great area for that. Recently they've got some really cool events, and just like in terms of networking with lots of different people, just seems like a cool place, especially for people within our age group. And then Beauty Founders Hub, again, cool. They just put like loads of different like opportunities or like just a general area to discuss things with people who are other founders, which is really cool. I had a membership at the classic members club that we all know of, but I'm so disappointed with all aspects of it that I've got rid of it. And like I got rid of it for December, and they took my payment recently, so I'm also not happy with them for that. I know.
Oh, yeah, not cool. But I feel like a lot of people are falling out of love with it.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not it. It's always busy. The fact that it's a members like a networking club to a sense, and you can't speak to people, just absolutely baffles me. I don't understand how you can have a space like that. But Albright looks good. That's another one I'm looking at.
Yeah, I have heard good things about Albright actually.
Yeah.
Don't worry if it's a lot to take in. All of the amazing tools, spots, and recommendations mentioned by our guests can be found in the Coffee and Oysters guide. Details in the show notes.
You know what? After listening back to that, I have actually been to a couple of those places, or at least walked past them since that episode. So I've been to Bambi. One of my friends was playing a vinyl like DJ set there, and then I have walked past One Key because I literally remembered it from the episode because I was like, "Isn't that One Key?" But yeah, but such another great round of recommendations, and it's funny watching that because her slick back bun is kind of famous, and it's just when I think of Phoebe, I think of the slick back bun. So much so that I saw her TikTok where she was like,
I'm doing my hair myself and it's a slick back bun. We love a consistent queen. But anyways, moving on to the final recap of today's episode. Thanks so much for sticking with us. The next guest is Nicole Walters, and Nicole is the founder of Click24, a social media strategy consultancy with 6 years plus in creative industries. She's collaborated with brands like Dyson and L'Oreal, recognized by 66 Agency and SME London Awards. She's been featured in Forbes and Stylist, and lectures on working in the creative industries at UAL. This is such a great episode to round up on. So Nicole actually moved away from full-time entrepreneurship back into, I suppose, part-time entrepreneurship. And I think we need to talk about those stories more. Like, you really just need to do what works best for you specifically. Like, at the time, working on her business full time was like stressing her out with cash flow, and she'd fallen out of love with it for a little bit. So she decided to take a break, and it was one of the best things she ever did. So without further ado, let's get into her episode and listen back to her full episode in the show notes. Anything on your London bucket list at the moment?
I need to go on the London Eye, which sounds silly, but I've never been on the London Eye.
Yeah, definitely do that.
And I'm one of those Londoners. I really like London. In fact, I feel like a little bit disheartened when people are like, oh, we've got to get out of London. We've got to leave. And I'm like, why? London is great. Guys, everybody just calm down, please.
Take a deep breath.
It's
not that bad.
Not that I understand we don't have the weather, and I understand the economy is going through a moment, but we can make this work. Okay, I promise you. So I definitely am one of those people. Like, I definitely feel like a tourist in the city. Like, when I go into central London, especially, and I don't know if this is part of growing up in southeast London, that when you go into central, it feels like a moment, and I don't think that's ever gone away. I think every time I go into the city, even if I'm going in for work, it kind of feels a bit like, ooh, we're in the city. So yeah, I think being on the London Eye is my bucket list moment for London. I've not done that.
Okay, and then quick fire. Where are your favorite food spots or like coffee sort of spots that you go back to?
It's very basic of me, but I have a confession. I really love a chain restaurant. I love the predictability of knowing exactly what I'm going to order and exactly what I'm going to get. And I do think I have some neuroscience, but I've not been tested, so I can't say that. But I do think, because I hyperfixate on meals like no other.
Yeah.
Everything like cheeky Nando's, like I'm just like, oh yeah, you know? So I'm going to say Nando's.
Yeah.
Well, there are tons more food spots that could come to mind, but Nando's is what I'm craving right now. So I'm going to Nando's.
Fair enough. And also, you mentioned that you kind of you're part of a lot of like groups and events. Are there any that you would love to shout out, essentially, that you found really valuable for you?
Yeah, so in terms of groups, I would say I'm part of 2 groups that were born out of the Cannes trip that I went on earlier this year. And one of them is Cultured Community. That's a really, really good group. And the other one is Black Space. And what I love about these communities, they've gone on to kind of like see some gaps in terms of like what's missing in marketing. And they've just like kind of like connected everyone. It's quite nice because they're my friends. Like, I'm friends with the founders, but also it's nice from a business perspective to just observe how when actually you do all the right things and you are centered around the right purpose, things do actually happen quite quickly because people recognize that and they want to be a part of it. So yeah, that's one group that I'm in that I've just, yeah, it's nice to see that people pour into it and just amazing things happen.
Amazing. Then if you're going to go out with your friends somewhere for a night out, whatever that means to you, like, where would you go?
Oh, so a night out, there has to be some dancing involved in cheeky hot. That is the combo. If they have good snacks, that's a bonus, but that's not always, no, we can't always guarantee they're going to have snacks. Sometimes the kitchen closes. So yeah, good music, cheeky cocktails and dancing. That's the criteria.
Anywhere specific, or is it more like a ticket-based thing that you would go to?
So I really hate that tickets have become a thing. I hate it. I hate I have to plan my night out, but also I think I'm just at that age because if I don't plan if I just randomly was like, yeah, today I'm going to go on a night out, like I need to know what the rest of my life looks like before I go and, make some crazy decision. Like, I can't do that. I have to know everything beforehand and my depression time so that I can get back to work at an appropriate hour. So yeah.
My cousin I was going out to dinner with her and she was like, oh, I'm going to Coco later. Like, DJ night. She's like, do you want to come? I was like, I was not mentally prepared to go for it. I need like a week's worth of notice.
Yeah. And sometimes as well, whoever you're going out with, you have to line up the calendars. So sometimes it's in the calendar for like some weeks before you actually get to go out.
Yeah, I think that's fine. It's just getting older.
It's life.
And that's all, folks. Those were the first 6 guests of Coffee and Oysters. Thank you again so much to all of the guests and to all of you listening and supporting this. This is a really special journey. And we're only 1 year in, and I really can't wait to see how things change over the next year, to be honest. Praying that we are in a much bigger and more incredible place. And yeah, these types of episodes, you may start to see them pop up every now and again, or just when if there's a gap in the calendar or editor is on holiday, anything like that. Let me know what you thought about this format. Are you excited to try any of the places mentioned today? Remember, you can find all of the recommendations in the Coffee and Oysters guide. And do sign up to the Substack, because I have slowly been plugging these places into an interactive map that you can carry around in your pocket. Once again, details in the show notes. Thank you so much for supporting the show, and keep telling your friends about us. Have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are, and see you next time.
Thanks for listening. Get in touch at coffeeandoysters@gmail.com. Stay connected at Coffee and Oysters Pod on TikTok and Instagram. And never miss out by subscribing to Substack. Details in the show notes. And most importantly, keep those 5-star ratings coming, and see you next time.